But moving away from that and going over to Zack Snyder. Zack, this is a letter from me to you. I need you to stop. I need you to stop. Because we are reaching a level now where I feel as though you are going to harm your career in a type of way that is irreversible. And I spoke about this in the gaming part about how gaming has essentially changed. But I believe I'm reaching a point now where I'm sick and tired of director's cuts. And I'm sick and tired of director's cuts because of Zack Snyder. Before, I was okay with them. Like you bought the director's cut of Alien, and you saw the differences between the theatrical cut and the director's cut. Where the director's cut covers the fact that the alien was cocooning members of the crew, and it was low key starting to lay eggs and things along those lines. Cool. You see the director's cut of Aliens, and you see like a more detailed conversation between, let's say, Ripley and a bunch of other characters she encounters on Hadley's Hope. More stuff about the collapse of Hadley's Hope and things along those lines. Cool. But Zack Snyder, and I would say that around the time of Batman versus Superman, where he was like, yeah, I had to cut a lot of stuff from Batman v Superman because, the studio wanted me to keep it under 12 hours. And you're like, okay, so what you got, like an extra, like, 15, 20 minutes? He's like, nah, I got like an extra 45 minutes. Why? A whole other story arc happening inside of Batman v Superman. Some would say that the scenes that were cut out were actually scenes that were important to the story being told in the main film. Which I would have sat down in the studio and I'm like, no, I need all of my film out there so that people can get one cohesive story for 2 hours and 30 minutes. I would shave down maybe some innocuous scenes that don't really fucking matter, but for the most part, you're getting the core story that I'm attempting to tell. You understand the motivations and the reasons behind the characters that you're essentially seeing in my film. Cool. Then we arrive at the debacle that was Joss Whedon's Justice League and Zack Snyder's Justice League, which were two completely different fucking films where you had completely different character motivations and main enemies. And then you go off to Zack Snyder's cut and you're like, what the hell? Darkseid? Apocalypse? Mother boxes? Steppenwolf looks like a badass? Superman's suit's all black? What's going on here? Why is this way? Cool. But here we are again with Rebel Moon, which before I was like, okay, Rebel Moon's coming out. The first one was okay. The second one was god awful. But then Zack Snyder spins the block and he's like, no, 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 no. You see, in order to understand my true vision, you have to see Rebel Moon, the director's cut. That completely explains the story between the first part and the second part. Why? This film originally was supposed to be one film. And then it went from one film to two films. And there were rumors that Netflix didn't like that at all. They didn't like the fact that the film went from like one singular 2 hour, maybe 30-minute film to suddenly two 2 hour, 30-minute films. But why? Why is there a director's cut? Like, I feel as though if you went to Netflix, you said, hey, Netflix, I made a 3 hour film. There's a lot of shit in it. Netflix would have just been like, can we turn this into a show? They'd be like, instead of making it a movie, can we turn this into a limited series? Can we do one part that's maybe like 1 hour each, that's 3 episodes, and then we do part two, which is like another 3 episodes? Netflix would have been able to accommodate you. Why are we making a director's cut for this film? Why is the director's cut R-rated? Like, did Netflix say that you had to make a PG-13 film? Like, I'm very sure you went to Netflix and were like, hey, We're going to be doing some Jedi shit. We're going to be getting down with some lightsabers. People are going to lose limbs. They're going to be losing heads. People are going to be shot in the face, shot in the chest. There's going to be explosion of body parts. Netflix would have been like, dope. An R-rated Star Wars that only belongs to us? Absolutely. Go out and make it. You act as if Netflix already doesn't have like a bunch of R-rated crazy shit on their platform as is. So why? Why is there a director's cut? Who is the director cut for? Because it's not for me. I don't like your film. And from the review scores, I would say about 70% to 85% of people didn't like your film. Why? Like, I feel myself always returning to that question of why. Like, you ever seen that meme from about 10 years ago of that preacher who he's like, why? Why? What? Why? 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 Zach, why? Why do we have a director's cut for part 1 and part 2 of Rebel Moon? Why does it exist? Why didn't you talk to Netflix and be like, hey, I need these parts. Can we bump it up to being an R-rated film? Will the R-rated film actually make it better? No, because it's still going to be telling the same shitty story that has tonal issues and location issues. So R-rated is not going to make it better. It'll make the action better, but it's not going to make the story you're attempting to tell better. And the story, for the most part, is what's trying to keep people in their seats to watch the film from beginning all the way to end. Look, dog. Look. I'm gonna need you to figure it out. I'm gonna need you to sit down and talk to yourself and figure out what it is that you want going forward. Because I don't understand why I don't understand why there's a director's cut for this film. Because I feel as though if you had went to Netflix and went, hey, can I just do an R-rated Star Wars? Netflix would have been like, fuck yeah. Make an R-rated Star Wars. And you would have had your film. But instead, you went to PG-13 approach. And then you went back to Netflix to have Netflix give you the right to re-release and make a director's cut, which is R-rated. Why are you trying to double dip? Why are you trying to farm me twice? Who's that for? Because like I said, it's not for me. And it's not for 85% of the people who didn't like your shit. So we'll see where it goes. The extended director's cut is supposed to release summer 2024. Do I have any faith in this? No. Do I have any faith in Zack? No. Is it going to be good? No. It's not. It's not going to be good in any way, shape, or form. But whatever. Zack Snyder, man. Zack Snyder, ladies and gentlemen. Zack Snyder.